Hello everyone, welcome to Archie Gaming, and today we have a bit of a different video for you. This is called How Not to Play Lexi. For those who follow my social media would have seen I went 3 and 6 at Nationals, only actually going 2 out of 6 games um, with this Lexi deck winning the Constructed. Now there are some reasons behind that I did want to sort of go through. So it's kind of a bit of a joke of how not to play Lexi, but this is the full 80 cards that I ran. So I wanted to kind of talk through that, show you what I ran, what changes I'm intending to make ready for the calling in Eurocrash next month. So to kind of inspire those that have played around in Lexi, wanting to play Lexi, and have sort of a good base and where to field out, and what I feel is not working for me. Also, since this time, we've also had the US Nationals, a few other Nationals, so I've had time to look at those deck lists, see what's different between the two. So that's what I'm going to go through. So let's start with, obviously, we're playing Lexi Livewire. So equipment-wise, we've got Voltaire. Again, this is Lightning Lexi. So Voltaire just works. About 50% of the time I'm giving +1, the other 50% of the time go again. Really does depend on the deck. Depend on what the deck's doing, what I've played before, if it's my last attack. Sometimes I will give things go again, even if I don't have anything else to follow up with, just as a little bait on my opponent. But yeah, so we have that. Bullseye Braces is the only arm equipment. It kind of does everything I want bar block. It has the Arcane Barrier, great action ability. Synergizes for those big turns where I want to kind of load up 3 arrows. Great card. Chess Piece, have a choice of 2 between the Tunic and the Heart of Ice. Heart of Ice is really in there for more control builds or decks that can play control, and also Wizard. Not that I put this in there just against Wizard, but it works kind of well against Wizard, Prism. If I think they're going to be a control Dash or Katsu. Oldhim as well. Not that I played against any of these decks typically. I played one game against a Katsu, but it's in there for more of those control, slowy games. It's a great ability, again, has the Arcane Barrier, and for everything else, it's Tunic. Chipping me a resource every turn. Headpiece, New Horizon, only choice again. Again, it's a lightning deck, I need the 2 Arsenal zones. It's pointless having any other headpieces. And legs, we've got a toss between the Null Rune Boots and the Perch Grapplers. Again, Runeblade, switching across to the Null Rune Boots, also Wizard. And Perch Grapplers against everything else. Not for the ability, just for the fact they're a 2-block. Which is a shame that I'm running them for a 2-block. But paying two sources to get 2 resources to give all my face-up arrows. Go again when I can just trigger from the bow or several of the fuses. Never really came into fruition, so I'm like, do you know what? They're just a 2-block. So yeah, that was the equipment. So what I'm going to do first is go through all the cards that worked amazing for me. Quick overview of them, why they're in the deck. So we do have our sideboard here, which I'll go through afterwards. So we have Ball Lightning, Lightning Attack, attack with Go Again, flip it, give Go Again, fire something with an arrow, then fire Ball Lightning. Great effect, not even an on-hit effect. 3 red, 3 blue. So you'll see that a lot with especially with the lightning cards, is a lot of them I'm running at the reds or blues. Reason for this is the blue obviously gives me the pitch value to fire a 1-cost arrow and load Voltaire twice. And they don't feel badass enough I've kept them for a fuse effect. So, yeah. So Ball Lightning's absolutely great. Red Ball Lightning's again, a 0 cost for 3, potentially 4. Threatens the rest of the turn if I can get another arrow off or another Ball Lightning, or several other things really. Bolt and Shot, just running the reds. This is something I am considering adding the yellows for again. It's a go again while giving it the +1 off Voltaire. So, you know, I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds with that one resource if I'm loading it that turn. Great on hit effect of being able to reload, flip another card to get something else, either Go Again or a Frostbite. Really, really good card. It's pretty much going to be consistently a 5 for 0 with Go Again. Again, there are times when I'm just loading it when I'm towards the end of a game and I'm having to block a bit more, and it can still sort of come back a little bit. But yeah, Bolt and Shot. Yellows is something I am looking at adding in. Then I think we'd go on to some more arrows with Dash and Crescendo. Again, this doesn't feel terrible to Arsenal, because the likelihood I am drawing into a lightning card, I can fuse it to give it go again, even though it's been arsenaled. Again, if I can't fuse it, I can just give it go again with the bow. If I can fuse it, I can give it the +1, fuse it, go again. So similar to bolt and shot, I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds, but takes a couple more extra steps to get there. Endless Arrow is great. Again, it's another one where if your opponent's just letting you hit them, you can hit it twice, 3 times in a turn with go again. It's hitting, it's coming back to your hand, it's hitting, it's coming back to your hand. It means you can do a lot with a blue in your hand and this. You can crack the bullseyes on it as well, give it +5, go again, hits, come back to your hand, go again. Great card. Frazzle. So this is a 1 for 5. Not if you use, again, it's just a 1 for 5 arrow. The fuse effect is okay on a wider turn. It's not essential, but if you can get a ball lightning, a fuse frazzle into a third attack, the amount of damage stack, especially if you can then hit them with a dashing crescendo or a snapshot or something like that, you can really put pressure on them. In essence, it is just a 1 for 5. We'll then jump across because it's a weird gap to headshot. Again, similar. I'm trying to load these face up, not face down, and then trying to do shenanigans. So essentially, it's a 1 for 6, potentially with go again, potentially a 1 for 7, which is a big old hit for 1 resource. Not a elemental card, but still, again, the idea with Lexi is you're trying to put cards face up. You're trying to reveal a non-attack action. Is what I was trying to do, or a ball, or something else. Trying to reveal a non-attack action, hit them with a big arrow with go again, do something else. Lightning Press. Again, we're running 6 of these, not 9. The other ones might be coming in. Again, great card. Kind of replaced Razor Reflex with my Azalea builds because I'm not worried about the go again because I have it from so many other sources. These did close out 2 of my 3 wins. Lightning Press, a great game against Dory where I did Lightning Press out Snatch 3 times. 2 reds and a yellow, giving it +8 on a snatch. It was a 10 attack snatch. You can't prepare or plan for that. Great little card, works with almost every attack in the deck. Again, the blue ones might come in, plus as well you can, again, what I've done in some games is arsenaled it, revealed it, and just left it there as a threat. Especially late game. If you know you've got multiple attacks, you can go again, they overblock, then you can fuse your second attack instead, or press on your second attack. Great little card, great little closeout. Especially in Blitz as well. But yeah, absolutely love Lightning Press. Again, the blue ones are another option to come into the deck. Pulse of Volthaven, again, it's only a one-off because it's a legendary, so I can't run many more than that. Most of my attacks are getting +4, I can reveal it, give it go again, and give them a Frostbite. It's good for fusing. There's no reason really not to run it in my opinion. Again, it's going to give me a lot of +4s. Revealing it gives something go again as well, so essentially it's giving me a +5 on a lot of my arrows, a lot of my elemental ranger arrows. So something like a Frazzle's then coming in for 10, because I can give a +1 with the bow as the reload. Again, I'm trying to arsenal this a lot. It is a shame that it doesn't have a block value because it's an instant. But yeah, still solid. I do enjoy it when it comes off. Remorseless, great card. It's great against so many decks. Penalise them for sort of playing actions. I do typically sideboard it out against one big hit attack deck, something like actually Kano I do take it out against. I think I take it out against Bravo and Oldham as well because they're not worried about the go again. They're playing one action a turn, so it doesn't really prohibit them as much. I'd rather come into some of these 6 attacks. Prism as well. There's a gamble on this card. Sometimes it will work amazingly, sometimes it will work terribly. But yeah, against your Katsus, your Briars, your Lexis, Dory is the other person I do take it out against. But a lot of decks that are trying to do multiple things at turn, it can really hinder them for playing those cards out. Again, especially in the closing sections of a game. If you hit someone with this and they're on like 3 life, and they're like, cool, I need to take the one to take a turn, then they can't really take a turn. Or they block it out and then they don't get to take a turn because they've blocked it out. Sinks, again, great defense reaction. Sleep Dart, again, is in there for those decks that care about those hero abilities. Briar, Dory, um, to a point Bravo as well. Sometimes switching off Bravo's Dominate can help you out. Gives them a bit less pitch to spend on. They then need to. Sometimes for those hammer turns, they can't overpitch on the hammer. But yeah, Sleep Dart, great. Snatch. So again, the amount of ways to give this go again with revealing a card to draw a card. I really do enjoy. Does only block for 2 as an attack, which is kind of a bit of a but a lot of the time it was hitting with go again. Again, mid to late game when you've only got one, if you've had an off turn, you decided to block out, stop a nasty on hit, it can still just come in for 4. It's still that magical 4 point, which I do like, and it replaces itself with a card draw. Enabling you to arsenal something and move on to the next turn, set up with something in your arsenal to flip or do something else with. 3 of a kind. So now we start to come to the cards that might go. So out of these 6 games, I must have hit probably an average of say 2 a game, 3 of a kinds. There was a game when I hit 3. There was a game when I hit 1, or played 1. Sorry. It worked twice out of all those games. One of them didn't close off the game. One of them was quite early. So I think 3 of a kind does come out. I think it comes out for E-Strike. As you've seen, there's been no E-Strikes in my deck. The reason for this is... So it costs 1, so typically you're pitching to do it anyway. You want to pitch like a blue or something to get that card draw. And then when it doesn't hit, it feels so bad. I've had that multiple times where I've like blocked out a turn, kept say a Heaven's Claws blue and a 3 of a kind with the hope of pitching, drawing some arrows, being able to still do an attack and block out their turn and get the tempo back in my favour. Then you hit that draw of a take cover, a sink below, a pulse and a snatch. And it's man, it sucks. Or a lightning press or something like that, and you just don't hit. And suddenly you're like, again, the card draw's great, but again, I think for me it just wasn't consistent enough. And I think it does go. I think I need to test it with it gone, but I think 3 of a kind does go. It gets replaced by E-Strikes. Again, 0 for 5s would go again. You're putting a card to the bottom instead of pitching. I can, if I've revealed a lightning first, I can hit with 7 with go again, or replace itself with another card draw. There's other ways in my deck to give it go again, similar to the way Briar uses it. So I think 3 of a kind goes out for E-Strike. Take cover, again, another great defense reaction. If it's the one card you're left with at the end of the turn, or you don't have an elemental card in your hand, you can arsenal it, block out their first attack, see what you've drawn into. If you've drawn into an elemental card, arsenal it, ready for the next turn as a great setup. It also gets around Dominate, which is something that did happen in my second game. I blocked out an attack, used take cover, arsenal to sink below, then used to sink below. And it took my opponent a minute, looked at it, read it out, and went, didn't think of doing that. Perfectly way around Dominate, block it with multiple cards. Again, you can kind of do it around Dory if you have this arsenaled. Defend from arsenal, load another defense reaction in, play that out. As a defensive play, you can potentially, especially with that I only have the sinks and the take covers, you can block for 8. If you can take cover into a sink, you can block for 8 without triggering blocks from hands, gets around Dominate, gets around so many little things. If not, it's just still a block for 4 with no downside. Again, it's a great block, and again, playing Rangers, not a lot of blocking options in this. Snapshot, great 0 for 4 arrow. That's it, really. I'm not playing the full suite. I'm not doing the whole Death Dealer, endless draw, turn shenanigans. It's just a hit you with an arrow. Again, the 3 of the kind turns, if you can fuse it, get off a 3rd arrow in your deck is great. But essentially, it's just a 0 for 4. Again, so in there, over say something like a searing shot for me because it can work well with the ball lightnings, a fuse frazzle. It has a few other tricks because it's an elemental card, Pulse of Volthaven, for example. So it has a few benefits for it being an elemental ranger card rather than just a straight ranger. We'll come back to searing shot in a minute. But yeah, snapshot, just an elemental 0 for 4. Light it up, absolutely great early game. It forces them to block out a turn or take a lot of damage. So yeah, absolutely love Light Up. Electrify Blue. Now, same as Plunder on Blue, so I kind of clump these together. They're just generic actions, bit of card draw or a bit of damage. Electrified Blue, if I fuse with it, it doesn't feel terrible to Arsenal because I'm still replacing itself, flipping it to give something go again. It's a great card. Maybe the reds do come in or the yellows. But again, I'm not worried about the additional damage. While that's great and all, and again, works really well with ball lightning and stuff like that, I'm more trying to focus on the card draw. It's a pitch for 3 if I get it, and I've already done some other things. Typically, I am wanting to Arsenal this though, so maybe the reds do come in. Plunder Run, again, similar situation. I'm not trying to Arsenal Plunder Run, which sounds really weird to say from a Ranger point of view, but I need to try and Arsenal a lightning card to gain that go again. So again, this is why the blue's written instead of the red. Worst case, if I can't get it off, it's still a pitch for 3, or if I need to do other things. Heaven's Cause Blue, similar to the Electrifies, it's still a 3 attack. Essentially, can give itself go again with that 3 pitch. This is something that might change into the yellows. Purely on the fact they then hit that break point of 4. Do the same roll. There's still a 3 block and still a lightning for fusion. Blinks. Now this is a card that may just come out of the deck completely. With the amount of go again, I wasn't finding it very useful. This might be something that replaces into the blue lightning press. +1 damage, blink instant, no block. They might go into the red electrifies. But I think blink is on the way out. I found myself just pitching it a lot of the time. Again, it might stay in the sideboard for Prism, but I think Prism's kind of dropped out a little bit and isn't as prevalent as I thought. So maybe blink goes. Then we come into the sideboard, so we've got the other blink here. So again, same situation, it might just go, it might stay sideboarded for Prism matchup. Blizzard. Now, we can actually see the first ice card. So Blizzard's great. Blizzard managed to catch quite a few opponents off turn. It's a great blue pitch. If for whatever reason you do come against an Oldham or a Kano, sorry, just for that blue pitch for the Arcane Barrier, because we can actually have Arcane Barrier 3 out pretty easy if we need to. It can really slow down Redline Briar, and it can really slow down Katsu as well. Katsu, it won me a match against Katsu. Who was just on the pitcher blue 2 Kodachis for a turn and managed just to blizzard it. He didn't have the resources to give it go again because his plan was pitcher blue, Kodachi, attack for 1, Kodachi, trigger, Kano, and just cycle around. Get the Mars trigger, yada yada yada. So I'm like, cool. So Blizzard definitely stays, even though it's an ice card. But yeah. Then Feign Death, similar situation, isn't there, more for like the Kano Briar matchups and those decks that do want to go wide. Great against Briar. I played against an Earth Briar with it, and they were like, cool. Bramble Spot fused. Another big plus on this attack. Stir the Wildwood, fusing it. Cool, I'll take the Arcane. Coming in for 14, 15 damage with go again. No blocks, they pummel it as well. And I just pay 1, Feign Death, prevent all that damage, prevent it all. Again, it's a sideboard card. It doesn't have always its great uses. I don't tend to use it against Dory, even though she's attacking twice a turn. But the second attack's normally a lot less than the first. And I don't typically play against like Bravo, other decks that just want to poke you once. Again, maybe against KO it comes in, but Kano comes in, but I haven't actually tested that out. Prism as well is another good card for. They poke you for 1, hit you for like 10. But Feign Death is a fun card. Then we come on to these two. Icy Encounter and Winter's Grasp. Again, we're in here more for the 6s for Prism to pop Phantasm, which I just didn't see. I didn't run against any Prism. Wasn't a high Prism outage at UK Nats. A lot less than I thought, or I just avoided them. So yeah, maybe they do come out. I do now currently own 2 CNC, so maybe that replaces the Icy Counter. Winter's Grass goes into another just cheap arrow. Something like a Searing Shot. But yeah, Winter's Grass. Again, I don't think with that dedicated Icefield 1 Frostbite doesn't screw anyone over until late game. But late game, if I'm playing one of these, I'm not doing all the things I want to do. My deck curve is very low. So maybe I take these out as well. But yeah, so sort of that's the deck I'm running with, or ran with at UK Nationals. Obviously, I have gone through a little bit of the stuff I would like to change. So let me know what you guys think. I will put a public copy of this in the description below. So if you want to check it out, again, feel free to leave some comments and stuff like that below if you can think of anything else I'm missing, or anything I said you don't agree with. But yeah, so this is the deck not to run with Lexi. I think like the base core is there, but I think there's some changes need to be done. So again, as always, any advice, probably without stripping it down and completely going into Ice Lexi, which is still an option for me for the calling. I did try and buy every Ice card and every Lightning card, and try and grab them all just so I have that option. Again, this might just change into a full Ice deck before the calling. Just because of the amount of Briar we've seen. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the description below. Again, we got quite some positive feedback on the blog, on the vlog, sorry, of Nationals. So we'll do the same again for the calling Eurocrash, Eurocrat, the Netherlands. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, guys. I've been Archie Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this sort of content, and I will see you again soon.